Eric from PhoneScoop here with the new Sidekick LX for T-Mobile. The Sidekick LX builds on a lot of improvements that Danger and T-Mobile started making with the Sidekick 3. It continues to use the same navigation layout as on the Sidekick 3 with the rollerball, send and end keys, X and check keys, the main menu jump button, as well as the standard menu button that brings up contextual menus. This D-pad also works as the speaker. Similar to on the Sidekick 3, it doesn't work as a very good speaker, so if you're holding the Sidekick up to your ear to have a conversation, it needs to be in a quiet room or you won't hear very much. On the bottom of the Sidekick are the volume keys, so they're in your left hand when you're holding it as a phone, as well as the on-off button. On the top are the left and right shoulder buttons, and on the left-hand side, which is also the top when you're holding it like a phone, is the USB port for charging, as well as a 3.5mm headset jack. This means that you can plug your regular headphones or even headsets that are designed for the iPhone or similar 3.5mm phones into it, and it will work. One of the things you may notice is that this screen is not tiny, nor is it dull like the previous Sidekicks. This is a new, WQVGA screen from Sharp. That means it's 240 by 400. And the new operating system uses pretty much every single one of these pixels. The screen is sharp and bright. It's actually very easy to read outdoors because, as you may be able to tell, it's got a very bright backlight. This isn't a reflective screen like the old Sidekicks, so it has to use the light when it's outdoors instead of when it's indoors. However, it manages to do this without draining the battery any more than we've seen on past models. When you flip the phone open, it snaps right up and reveals the standard Sidekick keypad beneath. That means you get 3 rows of letters that are offset, a row for the spacebar and punctuation keys, as well as a full row of numbers. The Sidekick LX goes back to a rubberized keyboard like on the Sidekick 2, which most Sidekick users preferred. This one is a little bit harder than the one on earlier models. If we go up into messaging, the first thing I want to show you is that now there are text messages and picture messages. You can finally send picture messages, MMS, with the Sidekick LX. But if we go into text messages, just to give this the old PhoneScoop test, you can see that we can type very fast on this keyboard. I have to admit that when I first started using the LX, the keyboard felt so large compared to all the other phones that we test that I had a hard time using it for a few days. But after maybe a day or two, I fell right into being able to move all over this large and easy to use keypad. The text message application is not threaded, so if we look at our inbox, you can see they're all in a list the same way as they would be in the email application. Fortunately, your messages are threaded in the Instant Messenger, which is still the same as it was in previous versions. About the only other thing that's changed is there is a now 2-megapixel camera, which has been updated with a slightly new interface, as well as a new music player, which still works in the background just by hitting the jump and the check key. The Sidekick LX has all of the upgrades that we've been wishing for since forever. It's finally slim enough to easily slip into your pocket. It's got a great screen and just about every feature that we were wishing that it always had, including picture messaging. Unfortunately, even though the Sidekick LX finally caught up, it still feels like it's behind.